Come on in. Welcome. Hi there. Thanks for coming in. Today we're going to do a 90-minute Yin Yoga Floor Practice. So if that's what you were looking for, feather your nest, get settled. Please have a strap, blocks, any bolsters, cushions, rolled up blankets. I'm a little bit cold where I am, so I'm going to be wrapped up in blankets. Welcome. Thanks for coming today. As always with my practice, I like to offer the opportunity that if there's a position or an area that you want to target, you can let me know in the chat and I'll weave it into our practice today. And if there's any issues with the sound, please let me know. This is my first live now being back in Canada. I was offering live yoga from Badalona, Spain. So without any further ado, follow along. It's an eyes closed practice. We'll start in Shavasana and we will come back to Shavasana, and our bodies will definitely be different. So come on down. If you haven't already, make sure your strap is close beside you and just slowly lower yourself into the ground. It's about -9 outside today. So just staying nice and cozy, nice and warm. If you want, you're feeling discomfort, keep one or both knees bent as you find your shoulder blades kind of tucking in to the floor, hands, palms to the ceiling. Just take a couple breaths here. Notice what that feels like. And if you want, you can slowly extend the feet out if you haven't. Let any sounds, sighs, noises fully let go. My name is Samantha, and if you enjoyed today's practice, please feel free to follow me for more live events and check out some of my tracks. Again, the practice of Yin Yoga, we don't win any points for moving quickly. This is a mindful practice, one where we are affording the body the opportunity to completely relax and be supported in that relaxation, while at the same time gaining a better awareness of our mind, thoughts, patterns. So just observing the breath and not needing to do anything with it. Eyes are closed, and you can send your eye gaze in between the two eyebrows up into the third eye point. You can even rub that part of your forehead to help that internal gaze find its mark. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in and fill up the belly. And release it with a sigh. Again, nice deep breath in. Fill up the belly a little more and release. Last one, go ahead, take a deep breath in. And let it all out, extend the tongue. Return to normal breath. Slowly bend the knees, bring the feet flat on the ground. Make any adjustments for your hip if you want to wiggle and find your placement. Pick up the right shoulder blade and tuck it down. Pick up the left shoulder blade and tuck it down. And slowly, with the strap in your hand, we're going to pick up the right foot and we're going to wrap that strap around the ball of the foot and slowly extend it. Legs can be bent, knee can be bent. I like to wrap the strap around my hands one time, relax the shoulders into the ground, and slowly push the heel up towards the sky. Again, not about what it looks like, but in fact what you're experiencing, what you're feeling. You want to feel that connection of the heel through the back of the leg into the hip. And if you want, slowly extend the left foot out for a little bit more. We're here for a few minutes, so enjoy. This is an active yin pose in the sense that we are sending the heel up towards the sky, pointing the toes, flexing the foot. Not about how high you have it, not how much your leg is bent, but that activation piece in behind the back of the leg. You're 1 minute in. If you've become distracted and thinking about not feeling comfortable, irritated, maybe lessen the pull that you have, bend the knee a little bit, and just relax a little bit more so that your mind can be free from the irritation that you're experiencing. Bring the gaze back in between the eyebrows. And allow the breath to be. If you've practiced with me before, been to my live sessions before, you know that I'm a big advocate for Ujjayi breath, a pranayama style where you constrict the glottis in your throat and your breath kind of sounds like the ocean, also called ocean breath, a little bit of Darth Vader. If you can engage that breath for your practice, you will do wonderful improvements to your overall respiratory system. And if you don't know what Ujjayi breath is, that's okay too. We might be planting seeds today that will grow later on. You're halfway there. I thank you for your presence, for your participation, for your witnessing. Keep sending that heel up towards the sky. If the leg shakes, if sounds happen, that's okay. completely normal. And I am still very open. If there is a position that you want to make sure that we hit, please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, enjoy this 90-minute session that I've mapped out for our bodies today. And we've got 1 minute left. Notice if you've relaxed yourself, which is totally okay. But if you want to, just make sure that heel is extended up to the sky above you, up to the ceiling above you. And slowly loosen the strap. Cross the strap to make an X in your hands. Eyes are closed. Point the big toe on your right foot in towards the inside of your hip. And slowly draw that leg across, still keeping that heel up towards the sky. This is a very small movement. We're not bringing the foot across the whole body. We're looking for that minuscule connection. Close your eyes here. We're not here for as long. This can be uncomfortable. And just remember, come back to the breath. Come back to that eye gaze. We're signaling to the body that we see all the little parts, all the small connections, and we want them to be able to relax. One more minute. Heel up towards the sky, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Telling our nervous system we are in a state of relaxation. And slowly loosen the strap. Don't release the foot yet. Bring it back neutral overside the right hip. Point the toe out towards the outside of the body, to the right, and slowly bring the foot across to the other side. Just a small movement again. Wow, that's really talking to me. We're here for a couple of minutes. Feel that deep connection in from the root of your foot all the way through the back of your leg, down into your lower back and hip. Slightly tucking the chin, shoulders flat on the floor. Maybe you want to support your head with a blanket or a cushion. Be comfortable. One minute left. And slowly loosen that strap and bring both straps in the right hand. Now, if your knee's bent, that's fine, or maybe you want to bend the knee here, but we're slowly going to allow the right leg to fall out to the right side. And so if you would like a block, a cushion, a bolster to set underneath that leg to support it as it comes out to the side, again, it's not about what it looks like, how far you are. It's about that connection that you're feeling. Left hip is on the ground. Right foot is extended out to the side and maybe supported by a block. This is the last movement in this cycle for the hamstrings. And slowly bend the knee, unstrap your foot, and slowly, as if a sloth or a turtle was moving, extend that right foot out all the way to the ground, maybe rolling the feet back and forth. And slowly bend both knees, bring the feet flat on the floor. And we're going to do what we did on the opposite side, picking up the left foot, wrapping the strap around the ball of the foot, getting comfortable. So take the same variation you did on the right and apply it to the left. If your knees were bent, if you need to keep a bit of flexation in the back of the leg, that's fine. Point the heel up towards the sky and slowly release into your position. The hamstrings, the back of the legs, the calf muscles, the hips. This is such a large muscle group. It deserves time. I want to honor you for giving yourself the time today, giving your body the time. We all thank you. Coming back to that gaze in between the eyebrows, coming back to the breath. Or 1 minute in. Imagine each breath coming down deep into the belly, bringing that breath and filling up the lower abdomen, making space in that hip area. Two more minutes. Imagine if you need to engage a little bit more with that heel up towards the sky, or if you just need to soften a little bit. If we're trying to force, we're doing more harm. Yin is not about force. It is about time in a pose. Time and gravity will do all the work that we need. And I would always like to remind you the teachings from Paul Grilly. The direction of your hands and feet will either help or hinder your ability to be in a pose comfortably. Remember that all of our skeletons have variations, which means we look different in poses than maybe you to me, you to your friends. So it's important, keep the eyes closed and just experience what's going on inside the body. And slowly loosen the strap. We're going to cross the strap into an X into our hands. The left foot and heel are hovering over the left hip. Slowly point the big toe in towards the right side and draw the foot across to the other side. Very small movement, keeping the heel flexed, feeling that deep connection. We're here for a shorter amount of time. We're here for a good time. Just a short time. And slowly bring the heel back over top of hovering the hip. And slowly point the big toe out towards the left side. Flexing the heel, slowly bring that foot across. Notice any tension that might pop up. Any need to cling or clench. Just relax that here and push the heel up to the sky. We're here for 2 minutes. Send the gaze in between the eyebrow points, eyes are closed. And slowly bring the foot back over the hip. Grab both straps in your left hand and take the same variation you did on the right. If you support it with a block, slowly allow that foot, the left foot, to fall out to the side, keeping the right hip on the ground. And you can support with pillow, cushion, bolster, block underneath that leg. Leg can be bent, knees can be bent. The idea is that we're opening space in this pelvic area. Relaxed. only go until where you really start to feel it talk. Your body is talking to you all the time. So listen, listen. I always encourage people to stay afterwards for the practice for a little tea and talk. If anything comes up for you during your practice, know that I'm here to support you. Because the body holds things inside. And sometimes yoga is the reason why they start to feel like they can come out. And slowly bend the knee, bringing the foot in and unwrapping your foot however you need to. Bringing that left foot down onto the ground and maybe slowly letting the leg extend out, roll back and forth. We're going to move into a TFL band stretch. So bring your arms out into T shape. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat on the floor. Feel your hips in alignment here. Just wiggle around until you feel your hips are nice and flat on the ground. Slowly pick up the right leg and bring it 2 steps out to the right side. Allow that right knee to start to fall in towards the center. And if here is enough, please use a block or a pillow underneath that knee, just so that you can feel that nice elongation. If you were to lift your head up and look down, your shoulder, your hip, and your right knee are all a straight line. Toes can be extended and flexed out. You can also pick up the left foot and bring it over top of the right to give yourself a little bit more. Wherever you find yourself, stay there. We're here for a few minutes. We're 1/3 of the way through our practice already. And I appreciate you being here, reminding you, come back to the gaze, observing the thoughts, and releasing them, not attaching, not ruminating. And of course, the principle of yoga is to be able to feel in control and calm in the asana, in the pose. So if you find yourself not feeling like you can just be stable in that pose, consider where a prop might help. A pillow, a strap, a rolled up blanket. Or more awareness of the breath, coming in through the nose, nice and slow. And release through the nose. We've got 1 minute left. Slowly, if you had the left foot on top of the right knee, release that down to the ground. Windshield wiper your legs up. Use your hands if you need to. Just slowly unroll from that twist. Bring the knees in towards the belly, in towards the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe roll out the lower back a little bit. No rushing. Take your time as you slowly release the feet back onto the floor. Knees are bent. Find your alignment with your hips. And pick up the left foot and take it 2 steps out to the left side and arms out into T shape. Allow that left knee to come down, and if you want, support it with a block. If you want a little bit more, bringing the right foot up on top of the right knee, but wherever you are, just be there. We're here for a few minutes as we stretch that major elastic band through the side of our bodies. If we were to support our head and look down, we could see that our shoulder, hip, and knee are all in a straight line. And the more you learn about your body in each pose, in each asana, which props you like, where you're feeling those stretches, the more you get attuned with that, the more empowered you can be in your practice. But I am here to offer you a flow without needing to think, while at the same time, I deeply want you to know that only by discovering how you are in these poses can you fully enjoy the benefit of yoga for your body. One and a half more minutes. Coming to the breath. Slowly with the inhale. If you had your right foot up on top of the knee, just release that down onto the ground. Slowly unwind the body from that windshield and bring the knees into the belly, into the chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Release the lower back. Explore, rock, do whatever you need. Nice and slow. And slowly allow your body to fall to the right side. And push yourself up into a seated position. face you. I use a block to sit on just to elevate the hips a little bit higher. If you have a blanket and need that, grab it now. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama, a little bit of breath work. So try and get yourself in a comfortable position. Maybe your foot is outstretched. Maybe you're sitting with your back up against the wall. Wherever you find yourself, get comfortable. Palms up on top of the lap. Shoulders are relaxed back. Imagining the head, the crown of the head being held up nice in a nice straight line. As we engage into this alternate breath work, recognize that by doing this, even for 30 seconds every day, it's not a lot of time. We open channels within our body for energy to flow through us better. Breath, blood, prana, chi, whatever you want to call it. It also brings us into awareness with our respiratory system and how we're doing. So you can bring your right hand out in front of you. Slowly close the left nostril and take a nice deep breath in. Close the right and exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close and exhale. Please go at your own pace. The longer you can extend your breath in and out, the better. And if you get lost, that's okay. Just know that after we close, we exhale. Keep going, we're halfway there. And wherever you're at, slowly allow your palm to come back down on top of the legs, the thighs, the knees. Keep the eyes closed, maybe touch that middle point in between the eyebrows, send the gaze there, and just breathe in your natural state and observe. Excellent. If you had any props, please feel free to remove them now, set them to the side, as we'll use them later, and come down to your hands and knees on all fours. Try and feel in your alignment a nice neutral spine. Fingers are spread so wide onto the ground, onto the earth, onto the floor below you. Knees feel comfortable underneath the hips. And if they don't, using a blanket or an extra block to give cushion can be very helpful. So from this position, we're just going to engage in a few cat and cows. So beginning inhaling, dipping the belly low, bringing the chin up, pointing the tailbone up towards the sky, and exhaling slowly, pushing into the hands, up into the shoulder blades, bringing the head down and chin to tuck. Again, inhaling, slow rotation. Go at your own pace here. Exhaling, sending out to the sky. Feel that juiciness of the spine. Again, not about how much you bend. But what you're feeling in your body. And come back into a neutral spine from wherever you are. Put my hat back on because I'm chilly. We're going to slowly pick up the toes and tuck our toes underneath of our feet. If you want, use your hands to spread the toes out on the ground. Bring your feet together and slowly start to walk your hands back until your weight is shifting over your feet. The stretch is primarily for the plantar fasciitis on the bottom of the feet, for the toes. So if you're feeling like that's enough of a stretch for you with hands on ground, stay here and relax. If you want, you can slowly move the hands up until all of the weight and our spine is straight up on top of our feet. Feeling that flexion, keeping the heels together if you can of your feet, and just feeling that nice big stretch on the toes. We're here just for 1 minute. If it feels too much here, slowly go back to the other variations. Imagine that breath coming in. And slowly coming back out again. Almost there. Praising the feet, praising the toes, all those metatarsals and phalanges that help us run, dance, hop, skip, do yoga. Ten more seconds. Slowly walk the hands back down onto the ground, into all fours, spreading the fingers, unwrap the toes, and slowly bang them into the ground, just nice and easy. Release any of that effort. And slowly come back on the tops of the ankles here. If that's a good stretch for you, good. If you can lean back and lift the knees up, bringing a little bit of pressure onto the top of the ankles, onto the top of the foot. And release that down. From all fours, spread the fingers nice and wide. Bring the shoulders down your back, bringing those wings back. We're slowly going to Pick up the feet and point the toes outwards and slowly allow our knees to slide out into frog. Okay, so it might feel good to have a bolster or a block underneath of our belly if we want some support. You can have them in front, elbows down on top. Remember, the further back we sit, the more we feel that stretch in the groin. You can stay up on your hands, down onto your elbows. Keep the spine nice and neutral, soft belly, and just notice the targeting in between the thighs there. We're here for a few minutes. We're doing a great job opening up all those connections in the lower back and the hip region, letting our legs know they can relax. That deep inner tissue is receiving those signals. And come back to your breath. Eyes are closed. You can have the block for your head if you want to rest it. Again, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for giving yourself the time. And we've got 1 minute left. Consider, do you need to sit back a little bit more or loosen? And slowly with your inhale, come back up on top of the hands, pushing into the ground. Bring the toes in and slowly bring those knees in, however you need to do that. Set your block or any prop to the side. And from our hands flat on the ground, knees, we're slowly going to lower, keeping our elbows by our sides, slowly lower until our left ear is fully on the ground. Arms down the sides, fully release here into the ground. Let the ground hold you. Release any work that you just did. If you have a hard time lying on your belly or your chest, this can be supported with a blanket underneath the hips. Can be supported with a cushion underneath your head, so don't feel that you need to look like me. And you can always let me know if you're having any problems with any of the positions I offer. I would love to help you understand which props are best, which poses are best for you, because it's a real gift. So slowly bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the left foot out to the side in a 90-degree bend with your toe flexed outwards. Push into your hands, pushing up, and bring your right hand forward. Pick up your left arm and thread it underneath as far as you need. If you need a block or a cushion for underneath your head, you can grab that now. Your right arm can be extended out. We're opening up into the hip, stretching in through the shoulder. And we're here for a few minutes. Relax the wrists, the hands, the ankles. Coming back to your breath, releasing any thoughts. We're halfway there. Slowly with the inhale, bring your right palm back underneath your shoulder, push into the ground, and unthread your left arm, coming back into a sphinx. Bring that left leg back down, get into your alignment here. Bring the right knee out into a 90-degree, feet pointed out. Push into our hands on the floor, extending the left arm. Take the right arm and thread it underneath. Find the same variation that you took on your right side and do it here on the left. We're 2/3 of our way through the practice. Eyes are closed. Focus in on the breath, coming in and out like the wind. One and a half more minutes, you're almost there. Relaxing the shoulder, the arm, the wrist, and the fingers. slowly bring the left hand underneath the shoulder, pushing up into the ground. Unthread that right arm and slowly lower the right ear back onto the ground. Let that leg come back into alignment. Arms down your side and fully let go onto the ground here. With your next inhale, bring the palms underneath the shoulders, pushing into the hands, lifting the head up into neutral alignment. Slowly bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Draw the shoulders back and down. Bring your gaze up. If this is too much, stay here with our hands folded in front of us, our head and forehead on top of our hands in a slight back bend. And if it's available, go ahead and bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders down, your back. Eyes are closed. And just feel that slight bend in the back. Again, this isn't comfortable. We're strengthening all those lower back muscles, relaxing our abdomen muscles, soft belly. And if you've been here since the beginning of class, I thank you for being here. And just want to remind everyone that I will stick around afterwards for tea and talk as we enter into the last third of our yoga practice today. This beautiful 90 minutes of glorious yin. If you want a little bit more to this back bend, take your hands outstretched just to the outside of your mat. Push down, keeping the elbows towards facing the back wall behind you. And just increase that bend a little bit. If you would like to take it one step further, lower down and grab your right foot and bring it towards you. Stretching both the front of those legs as well as the lower back. Choose whatever variation feels good for you and stay there. If you have your right foot in your hand, slowly release that down, putting the weight into your right hand as you reach back and grab your left and switch. Belly is nice and loose. have your left foot in your hand, slowly release that leg down. Slowly come down back onto the elbows. Bring our head down onto the mat. And roll over onto your back. Moving like a koala, moving like a snail. Find yourself to having knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Arms can be just down to your sides. Make sure you have a block nearby as we move into a supported bridge. And there'll be a couple variations in this supported bridge. So get your block, take a nice deep inhale, and slowly push into your feet, raising your hips off the ground, maybe bringing your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. Take your block on whatever level you feel comfortable and place it underneath the hips, just above the tailbone, just above the pooper. We don't want it on the tailbone as that might be a little uncomfortable. And when you find a nice position where you release your weight and it feels supportive, feels stable, let your arms fall out to the side. If you want, you can extend the legs out. If you would prefer another variation, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees fall out in butterfly, or stay here in just supported bridge and enjoy that nice release of the lower back. Coming back to the breath. Notice if you want to wander, be here. Use your tools of mindfulness. What can you smell? What can you hear? What can you feel? One more minute here. If you had your feet extended or your feet into butterfly, take a nice deep inhale and slowly start to bring the feet back into a bend, bending at the knees, feet flat on the floor. Again, so slowly pushing into the feet, lifting the hips up off that block, removing the block, And we haven't started to lower down yet. Make this so conscious. Make this so slow as you slowly start to stick your spine back onto the ground below you. Just rolling it down as if it were a sticker. Finding beautiful contact. Fully releasing the hips back onto the ground. Bring your arms out into T-shape. Again, your head can be supported, your shoulders can be supported if that feels uncomfortable for you, this very basic asana here. Pick up the right foot and bring it over top of the left knee. Pick up the left foot, bring it over to the right side of your mat. Push down into that foot, pick up the hips, and slowly allow your body to rotate towards the left, bringing in a beautiful spinal twist. A block, bolster, cushion can all be underneath. It's not about how much you've rotated over, but rather keeping your shoulders, arms in contact with the ground and allowing those hips to rotate. We're just here for a few minutes before we enter into our final meditation. Notice anything that's still lingering in the hip area, anywhere you might be pushing against the ground. Try to send your awareness, send your breath there, and either support yourself with a prop or try to relax just a little bit more. In my own practice, I have been striving to be slower in life. I am a fire sign, fire energy, even Pitta, Ayurvedic, I'm fire. Everything about me is fire, and I tend to move quickly with force and strength, and it has become my practice to honor that part of myself by slowing down completely when that is not necessary. Where could we be slower? In our actions, in our words, in our thoughts. With your inhale, slowly start to bring your knees up, unbinding the legs, bringing the feet flat on the floor and coming back into a neutral spine, nice straight spine. Find that beautiful position, adjust the shoulders if you need. Slowly pick up the left foot and bring it across the right leg. Picking up the right leg, bring it over to the left side, pushing down into the right foot, lift the hips off the floor, and slowly rotate towards the right side. Beautiful spinal twist. Maybe relax the jaw, the ears, the lines around the eyes, forehead. Release the expression that we wear around. Let the face fully release. Let the thoughts go. Come back to the gaze in the middle of the eyebrow points. Nice deep inhale. Exhale through the nose. Last minute. And slowly with your inhale, start to push your legs back up till feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Finding yourself in that neutral spine. Bringing your elbows down to the ground, push into your elbows and slowly lift your body up. Find your block, maybe both if you need it. We're going to move into supported fish for our last position. So flat, tall, whatever position you'd like. Come to find that right above, right below the shoulder blades, right above the hip bones, slowly lowering back down. Our head, if it's too much of a stretch, we can place the second block below it and just have that nice little curve, nice little elevation. If you want, removing the block and bringing the head down onto the floor. Whatever position you are, I'm on the lowest today and being really gentle with my back. To come here, we're going to be in supported fish, letting the rib cage open, letting the heart chakra open and expand our front bodies. There is no pain in this position, so if you're feeling pain, I encourage you to start over, lower. Sometimes just using a rolled blanket is enough. We're here for a few more minutes. Again, my name is Samantha Kristoferson. I was teaching previously from Barcelona, Spain. My partner is Emilio Jose Garcia, who's a teacher here on Insight Timer, and he encouraged me to come onto the platform and to start sharing my practice. So if you enjoyed today's Yin 90 minutes floor practice, please follow my profile for easy alerts to when I post online events. And I have some free tracks that are being released coming up this month about tuning your chakras and sound healing. And I have some recorded tracks that you can sing along to or meditate to. Thank you for being here. Last minute. And if you're curious, I think I haven't changed it. I'm coming to you from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. So I'll have to update my profile. Eyes are closed. In between the eyebrows, focusing as we do our last few breaths here. Slowly bring the hands in, elbows to our sides. Push into our elbows, slowly engaging the neck and the head, rolling ourselves up. Remove the block and grab a blanket, eye pillow, cushion, anything that you need to make your Shavasana nice and cozy. Maybe you want to put a rolled up blanket underneath the knees. And we're going to do a final meditation in our Shavasana. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejasi Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Nirayamaya Tejase Om Namah And slowly take a deep breath in, filling up the belly. And exhale. Another deep inhale, inviting that chi, prana, life force energy in. Blow up the belly like a balloon. And exhale with a sigh. Last one, take a nice deep breath in. A little bit more. Exhale. Bring your hands together and interlace all but index fingers, sending the arms above the head. Bring the toes together and inhale, stretch your body. Exhale, release fully onto the ground. Slowly bend the knees, bringing the feet flat on the floor, removing any blocks you might have had or bolsters underneath the knees. Roll to the right side. And slowly find your way in a seated position. Eyes are still closed. Find the position that's best for you. Nice, long, tall, straight spine. Relax the belly. We're going to do a nice breath in for 4, out for 6. So begin, take a nice deep breath in. Release it. And begin. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, nice and long. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time, inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. Nice, long, extended exhale. Bring your hands nice overhead. Breathing in and exhale, fall forward, surrender. Inhale again, coming up. Bringing the hands together in palms together, mudra prayer, down to the chest, exhaling. Slightly bow your head. From the light in me to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for being here. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for that 90 minutes of slowness. Do me a favor, put into the chat where you're from, where you tuned in from.